The online gambling epidemic, this got 1.8 million views in a day. And just before I get into it, I mean, you know, we've talked about this obviously a lot, and it's a serious problem. I know that we joke about gambling all the time, and I assume some of you are doing it, but I hope it's all low limit, affordable. The numbers are undeniable that it is ruining more and more young men's lives than ever before. Specifically young men who are like falling into this gambling trap, and you know, little bits of excess capital you have. You know, you save 20 bucks here and there and you think it doesn't matter, but that adds up. And then all of a sudden, end of the year, you're out 500, 1,000, whatever. You're out money that like could have started a snowball positively. So, I just want to be clear that I'm going to keep joking about it. It's fun to joke about. I'm not a prude or whatever, but my sincere and honest opinion is that you should probably stop or quit cold turkey or do $5 limit like my dad does. That blows you up. Anyway, let's see what we got here. I don't care. If you do it, you do it. Your call. I saw Drake and XQC gambling and they made a ton of money, so maybe it's all great.
Months ago, to celebrate my friend's birthday, I went on a Victory Casino cruise. And not only did everyone get seasick almost immediately, but we also lost all the money we brought in to gamble with. It was one of the best days of my life. For a good portion of the past century, getting on a boat that reeks of piss and wobbling your way out just far enough into the ocean so that laws don't exist anymore was one of the only ways to legally gamble in the United States. It had such a convoluted barrier of...
Just to show you that I do gamble, last time I was on a cruise with Ari, there was an on-boat craps table. And I stayed up with my brother gambling on the craps table, and Ari went to bed. And then at 2 a.m., I kicked open the door of our cabin. I came in the room and I started making it rain hundreds on her while she was sleeping. I was like, babe, wake up, I won big! It was the most I've ever won at playing craps. I'm sure I've lost it all back many times over in Vegas, but on that boat, I won big, and I celebrated hugely. I wonder if she remembers that. Ari! I'm not waking her up. She didn't go to sleep at 7:20. Wait, I'm not stopping until she goes, babe! Come on. It's not that soundproof. Ari! She coming. Hey man, do you remember we went on that cruise and I won a bunch of money playing craps, and then I came into the bed at night and
yes, you're like, it was $1,000, I think, and I was like sleeping. I was like, what? That was the Mediterranean cruise.
That was very fun.
Yeah, it was really fun.
He's talking about it, so I'm just like...
Talking about what?
Like gambling on a cruise.
Oh, yeah.
But you weren't mad about it.
No, of course not. Why would I be mad?
Yeah, I don't know. Chat's like...
Whatever gets you out of my hair, you know what I'm saying?
That's not... I wasn't out of your hair. I was in the bed. I was tossing money around.
No, I mean, like, if you, like, go gamble and I'm doing my own thing, like, I like that. Oh, you were
sleeping is what you were doing.
Yeah, I, like, went to go, like, have fun dinner and then, like, went to bed. I don't remember. It was, like, in 2017.
It was a while ago.
It was a long time ago.
It was a while ago. Anyway, just want to reminisce on that story. All right, back in. The old ball and chain. She's doing Facebook jokes.
entry that most people could go their entire lives without ever being tempted to do it. Just don't go to Nevada and you'll probably never see a casino. In 2024, this is no longer the case.
Only on FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM, Prize Picks, Underdog, Hard Rock Bet, Daily Bet, PointsBet, ESPN Bet 365. Smack me in the mouth with all of them.
If you watch any sports at all, ads for sports betting have become inescapable. Even if you muted every commercial and closed your eyes until the game came back on, it's still plastered everywhere. DraftKings promos pop up in the middle of a play, there's BetMGM billboards behind home plate, FanDuel logos on the court, on the microphones. They come at you from every angle, pepper spraying you in the face so you don't notice they just pulled your pants down. They've made it so watching sports and betting on sports are just two sides of the same coin. Like, you can't have one without the other. It's become so normalized that it might be easy to forget that gambling can be kind of bad, actually. About 10 million people
Don't agree,
in the
never
US
have.
alone struggle with gambling in some way, a good portion of which are under the age of 25. Gambling addicts attempt suicide at a rate 15 times higher than the general population. The average debt of a gambling addict can range from $15,000 to $90,000.
Well, I'm sorry. The average debt generated by a man addicted to gambling is between 55K and 90K. Women gamblers average 15K. I'm sorry to laugh at that, but that is funny. That's a skill issue, women. Get your parlays up. You're playing small stakes. That's rookie numbers, women. Literally and figuratively no balls. I'm sorry, but you got to bet big to win big, or in this case, real life, lose big, massively, dangerously.
Where most people would see this as a problem, a few people saw it as an opportunity. All that extra money that could be siphoned from struggling families and into the pockets of like 12 CEOs and...
Someone said gambling glass ceiling. I like to... Fictional woke casino CEO who's determined to make sure women lose as much as men. It is my mission of equality to make sure that women go out there and lose just as much thousands of dollars, life-ruining amount of money as men. I won't rest.
We're not doing that
Pink slot machines.
because... So in 2018, the Supreme Court overruled the federal ban on sports betting. And since then, Americans have collectively lost over $245 billion on it. That's almost $1,000 per person, and that number was from last year. But the bombardment of playful advertising filled with famous celebrities would make you think it's just...
That's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. Collectively, as a nation, we lost $1,000 per person. It was a $1,000 per person transfer from regular people to casinos. They changed the law, and every American on net is $1,000 poorer, and the casinos are $245 billion richer. That is a crazy law to change. Collectively, as a nation, we're due. That's true. That's true. We're $245 billion down, but if we lock the fuck in, we actually could, we're gonna hit, and we're gonna hit big. I mean, we've lost $245 billion in a row. There's money to be made. We could pay off the national debt. What's funny is we couldn't. It's like not even close. We could win $245 billion 10 times. We didn't even make a dent. I would make a small dent, but let's not.
It's a harmless, fun game you can play on your phone. Kevin Hart, Post Malone, Chris Rock, LeBron James, Kevin Hart, Peyton Manning, Jamie Foxx, Eric Andre, Patton Oswalt, Vanessa Hudgens, the guy from that Kendrick Lamar song, Kevin Hart. Even the Talk Tua podcast is sponsored by Better. Why is it always the people you trust the most?
You don't need to know everything about every sport.
Good, because I don't.
Yeah, me either. All you need is a feeling and a phone.
Oh my gosh, I want
That is
All right, he's gonna make fun of it, so I'm not gonna shoot. But that's such a manipulative ad. You don't need to know facts. Don't feel any pressure. You don't need to know anything. Just a feeling and a phone. And money you could be partying in this awesome
such a bold way to advertise your product. You don't have to know anything about sports in order to bet on them. In fact, we would prefer you didn't. Look, this guy's just chilling in a hot tub. He doesn't even know what sport he bet on, and he won money. So go ahead, just open the app and start mashing buttons. I don't know, like, where do you think they got all the money to shell out to these celebrities? Could it be that maybe Prize Picks isn't the secret game?
Could it be, Drew Gooden, that maybe the celebrities just love gambling? Maybe they really like it and they want to share it with the people. Maybe they did it for free. Do you ever think about that? Maybe Kevin Hart just fucking loves gambling and wants you to enjoy it the way he does. Maybe they're already rich and they don't care. They already got off all the money from gambling and they want you to join them.
Gateway to riches beyond my wildest imaginations, and maybe they're just trying to get my debit card number so they can take all my disposable income. Whether or not you think sports betting should be illegal, and I'm not even necessarily saying it should be, the fact that they're allowed to advertise it like this is fucking insane. Imagine a cigarette commercial that was like, "Oh my god, this tastes so good.
This is the best I've ever felt in my life.
I'm on top of the world.
Typically, the only tobacco ads you see are like anti-vaping PSAs. And I hope there's a future where advertising for betting apps is regulated in a similar way. You can still bet on sports. You can still smoke cigarettes if you want to. It's not illegal, but you're not bombarded with the temptation to do it every time you turn on a basketball game. Even though it's only been 6 years since the federal ban on sportsbooks was overturned, technology has already evolved well beyond what was available at the time. And now that gambling has gone from being in a place you have to go to do it to being accessible on your phone at any moment, there's no...
Yeah, that's the big change. Now that it's on phones and you can hook people while they're young, it's just a lifelong tax at best. At best, they gamble like amounts they can afford to lose, and it just taxes them for the rest of their life for this hobby they're not going to ever lose. But at worst, they go a little too deep, and suddenly they're thrown off course for their, financially forever. America's gotcha.
Nothing's stopping these apps from trying to lure you in constantly, and they're really good at doing that.
Addiction is intensified, he says, by how much the gambling companies know about each user. That data was used to tailor offers and push notifications to keep the guy in action.
They knew the life stage, the customer life stage it was at, so win back, they described it. So people that have given up gambling for a while and they're trying to get them to come back.
Just by using these apps, you're giving them data about your gambling habits, which they can then weaponize against you. If they realize around 2 p.m. every Sunday is when you're most likely to interact with the app because you're watching 19 games at once and you're starting to get a little restless, they can tailor make a push notification just for you. Maybe they'll boost the odds.
Hey, I know he's making fun of this, but isn't this kind of sweet in a way? They care so much. They want to know about you and you specifically. And in a way, isn't it kind of like in this crazy fucked up world, nice? There's a gambling executive out there who really cares about you personally. He wants to send you a text when you're feeling down. It's nice to know they care,
Odds of a third quarter Tyreek Hill touchdown, or they'll show you a parlay that 50,000 other people have bet on, and that many people can't all be wrong. Let's talk about parlays for a second, because I think that's one of the biggest contributors to the exponential rise of sports betting.
It's parlay time.
Put simply, a parlay is when you combine multiple bets into one bet, significantly decreasing the odds of it hitting, but massively boosting the payout you'll win if it does. It's basically the difference between winning a few dollars for correctly calling one coin flip, or winning thousands of dollars if you can get that coin to land on heads 12 times in a row. You're so distracted by the possibility of how much you could win that you're not even considering the fact that you definitely won't. Parlays are the lottery ticket of sports betting, and these apps have made it so easy to make one whenever you want. The only thing stopping you from putting together a parlay that frankly doesn't even make sense is your own imagination. Because of parlays, I think for a lot of people, gambling has become death by 1,000 paper cuts. Maybe instead of losing a lot of money all at once, you're just losing a little bit of money all the time. Sometimes you'll even lose money in a way that feels like you almost won. 5 out of 6. I was so close, but that means I'll definitely win next time. My only personal experience with online sports betting was a couple years ago when I saw Underdog Fantasy was offering to match your first deposit up to $100. And I thought, okay, I'll give it a try. I watch a lot of football. Maybe I can finally make back some of the money I've spent over the years supporting my stupid, shitty team. So I put in $100. They doubled it. And slowly over the course of the next 2 months, I lost $25 every week until it was all gone. Now, if I'm being honest, I think this was actually best case scenario for me. I consider myself lucky that the few times I've tried.
That's what happened to me the first time I tried a slot machine. It was at an airport. I put $100 into a slot machine. I pressed the button. I lost money. I pressed the button. I lost money. I pressed the button. I lost money. I did that 60 times in a row. I never won 1 cent, and I cashed out 0. I just pressed the button and it spun till I got nothing. And basically it was 8 minutes and they took they robbed me of $100, what it felt like. That's what it felt. It felt like somebody took $100 out of my wallet at gunpoint at the airport. Even though I voluntarily did, I felt like I got robbed. And so I never did slots after that. I still do craps and everything, but that was such a bad experience. I've never done slots. What a rush those 8 minutes were. It wasn't even a rush. It was so basic. Once you've played video games, how can you enjoy the lights and sounds of a slot? It's not nearly as brain gripping as League of Legends.
Tried gambling, it hasn't gone well for me because I have no positive association.
It's I think that kind of the lights and colors of slot machines only works on boomers who don't play video games because their brains are still it's still fresh enough that it's like that it captures them. But once you fucking, you know, wasted hundreds of hours in League and Minecraft and everything else, like that, it didn't do anything for me. It was so boring, and I just got my money taken. I didn't get anything out of it.
With it. In the same way that I have no desire to.
But then someone says XUC, and I'm like, all right, you got me. That's a total counterpoint to my argument, because XUC does it all day and also has played many, many games. So but I will say his slots look more intense than the one I was doing at the airport in Vegas.
To smoke cigarettes, because the first time I did, I smoked 2 back-to-back.
Imagine playing against Hue and then dumping 20 bucks on a slot. Dude, could you imagine if I could put 20 bucks into a slot machine and play 1v1 Fizz versus a random opponent in mid lane? First blood cashes out. That's a skill. That's like Pokemon. It's a skill-based thing. It would need to be, yeah, it would need to be random. I don't know. That's just a fighting game arcade, but that would be fun as shit. I would get hooked on that.
For some reason and was nauseous the rest of the night. I have no desire to gamble because I've only ever lost money doing it. So even though Underdog managed to get $100 out of me, I actually think they would have preferred if I won a little bit first. When betting apps give out these kind of introductory offers, it's not just so they can get a bunch of free money, although that's definitely part of it. They're trying to create a customer for life.
Bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets. $5 get $200 back. $250 up to $500.
Up to $2,000.
Online sportsbooks know that the best way to get people addicted to their product is to make that first big win as easy as possible. So they'll lure you in with an offer that seems too good to be true, because all of that is pennies compared to what they're raking in from the people who are hooked. They give you free money to start with. They'll let you try again if your first bet doesn't work. They'll let you throw in one leg of a parlay that has essentially a 100% chance of hitting. They are desperate to make sure you have a good time. They want every time you see that app icon on your phone to think about the rush you felt when you turned $5 into $100. So you keep chasing that feeling forever. I just managed to outsmart.
Yeah, that's why I say for stocks, you know, some of you get into the whole Wall Street bets, Robinhood thing. And if the first trade you make on there is a green one, you're fucked. You want to lose early. Your first time messing around with options or messing around with, you want to lose. Because if you make money on that, you're going to think you're fucking Warren Buffett reincarnated. He's alive, but younger. You're going to think, oh, I've got it figured out. I understand the market on a deeper level. People don't understand it the way I do. And then you're going to punt money until you lose deeply. And then you're going to try and get it all back. It's dangerous. Probably more than sports betting, but certainly more common around 21, 22, you know?
Aren't them by being so unbelievably bad at sports betting that I never even came close to winning. But because I was curious to see how much online sports gambling has evolved since I tried it a couple years ago, and because I would never leave a stone unturned in the pursuit of research, I decided for this video I should try it one more time. So I signed up for the only legal sports book in my home state of Florida, which I assume is named after famous internet sex symbol Hard Rock Nick.
Balls tugged on one by one.
Their introductory offer is that they'll give you another chance to bet if your first one doesn't win. On the surface, that almost sounds like free money, but it's not like you can bet once, lose, and then just take your money back. You still have to give them the money. You're probably just gonna lose twice for the price of one. But hey, check this out. I've already unlocked a 1x multiplier,
shit.
which means for every dollar I earn, I walk away with $1. I spent the next 12 minutes hard at work, concocting the smartest and most guaranteed parlays the world has ever seen. With all my bets placed, I could finally sit back, relax, and enjoy a stress-free Sunday afternoon.
It'd be a funny video if it takes a turn here and he just keeps winning. He just wins and wins and wins thousands and thousands of dollars, and it becomes like the single greatest sports betting ad of all time, where it's like, I want to hate it, but I just keep winning. It's incredible.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Why did I bet on Sam Darnold? Why did I bet on Kirk Cousins? Why did I take the over on Curtis Martin rushing yards? He retired in 2007.
The next few hours felt like a roller coaster, but in spite of it all, I was determined to come out on top.
Guess who has 2 thumbs and just won $9.52? This guy.
Holy shit.
My other thumb's holding the phone.
I was down, but now I'm
And since I only lost 5 other bets, I was just $61 from breaking even.
Now I know what you're thinking, Drew. How could you have possibly known the Bills were going to beat a team significantly worse than them? What are you, some kind of genius? No. I prefer savant. The truth is, none of this would have been possible without my good luck charm, Michael McCorkle Jones. You can look it up. That's his real name. Ever since I saw him hit the gritty at the Pro Bowl a few years ago, I knew I needed a metal poster of him to hang up on my wall. And thanks to today's sponsor, Displate, that's finally...
I was like, wait, is this a display ad? The second you hear that metal, that's when you know you're in a displayed ad zone.
It's all right, so I've been using this app for a little over a week now, and even though I did win...
In fairness, display, these are kind of fire. The Avatar posters. These are kind of sick. Are they displayed, though, or just, like, actual art? I think these are paper posters. You should put some displays up, bro. Those, I mean... Those are cool as hell, but those are not metal.
A few more bets. All I've really managed to do is turn my initial $100 into 0. It's all gone. I think they know they're on the verge of losing me for good because they're really ramping up the notifications. Most days I'm getting at least 1 every hour. They even offered me another second chance bet.
That's kind of cool though. Like, what if you're you're like in a social gathering and nobody's talking to you, and you're kind of sitting there, you don't know what to say, and then your phone rings the notification, and you can pull it out, and it looks like you have a friend texting you, but really it's just your gambling app asking you to put more money in for a parlay. That's kind of cool, you know? It's like a fun life hack. Like, you should sign up for as many gambling apps as possible, so you seem like you're constantly getting notifications from people that want to talk to you. You look very popular.
This time up to $500. They are so confident, based on everything I've shown them so far, that it seems they're willing to give me any amount of money because it doesn't matter, I'm just going to lose it all anyway. Even in my very limited time using this app, I can already see the traps they're setting for me, and I am falling for them. For some reason, I've done multiple parlays that are contingent upon something happening at the beginning of a game. They offer a bunch of bets that are based on first quarter stats, and I realized firsthand why they do this. Because that one leg can cook your entire parlay immediately. But at that point, you've already committed to betting on this game, and there's so much more game to bet on. So you do. And before you know it, you're betting on Keyshawn George to make 5 threes? Why did I do that? I don't even know who that is. Why did I think Jake Paul was gonna knock out Mike Tyson? That fight was never ending in a knockout. They punched each other like 4 times. Yeah. Obviously, they were just in it for the money, and I knew that going into it. I only did this bet because they boosted my odds, and they only boosted my odds because they knew it wasn't going to happen anyway. It's 2024. How am I still getting scammed by Jake Paul? And on the flip side, when I do win a bet, sometimes I'm not even that happy about it because I'm just like, I should have bet more. You start getting carried away doing the math. I turned $10 into $30, but I could have turned $100 into $300, $1,000 into $3,000.
Oh my God, dude. This is why you want to play blackjack, you know? You play blackjack and then you finally get the fucking blackjack, but you're like, oh, I didn't bet big on that hand. And you feel almost worse. You feel almost, it's like you feel like you wasted it. It sucks. Did you know? The reason these, they study people's brains, this is during slot machines, but it applies to all these games. The reason they're so addicting is because you get the pleasure reward, not from winning, but from the anticipation. It's when you pull the lever, or when you say, hit me, or when you, oh my, I got camera frozen. Fuck, I was really spitting there for a second. I was cooking. And now I'm, I was cooking, bro. They're trying to silence me. It's a fucking big casino. Anyway, what I was saying is, you don't get the, You don't get the pleasure from the win. You get the pleasure from the moment before you find out whether you won or lost. From when you pull the lever, from when you flip the car, when you say hit me. And so because of that, it's what makes casinos work. Because you can get addicted without them having to actually give you enough money to win. If like winning and losing were equally happy and sad, people would lose more than they win and give up. But the problem is you get a lot of joy just from the thinking you might win. And so they can keep you hooked on forever. That's like the psychological trick that lets it work. So, just know that going in. Know that the rush you're getting of dopamine is coming because you think, oh, I might win this. Like when you click the button for the parlay, it's like, this could happen. And you get a rush of joy. That's where the joy is coming from. So just don't click it. Just like think about it and then close it. And you got 90% of the experience.
My God, it's infinite money. And I think that's one of the most dangerous things about gambling is that sometimes it works. It's a hobby that technically could go well for you if you get very lucky and quit at the exact right time, which you won't, and the casinos are banking on the fact that you won't. Problem gamblers aren't just chasing a feeling, they're chasing this idea that maybe they'll win the lottery. A lot of gamblers can recognize that they have a problem, but see the problem as the way out of the problem.
I think the feeling at the time was if you can just get lucky here somewhere, then potentially there's a way of making this all go away. I suppose the flip side to that as well, Aaron, is it was enabling me to just gamble as much as I wanted as well.
If I just have one good day, I can win it all back. Yes, I've dug this huge hole for myself, but if I just keep digging, I might be able to find that diamond I've been desperate.
I mean, that is the true soul crushing part of it is like, especially if like, you're already in like tougher times financially, scraping enough extra money to like build into something that you can do something with is hard. It's difficult because life gives you a bunch of little things to try to take your money away. You'll have a car repair, something's going to come up and it's going to take it away. And so it's already hard. But then when you get into a hole from gambling, your mind is like, it's going to be so fucking hard. And then you want to give up. And the only way that's easy is the gambling. It's like now instead of like scraping and saving what you were going to do before, you have to do it twice as hard because you have this gambling hole. So yeah, it is self-perpetuating. It's fucked up. And this image is very funny. I mean, this is the classic. This is the classic. I gotta be honest with you. This image is a joke and it's designed to make fun of this person, but I have it in my mind when I am gambling, and it does cost me to do one more bet at the minimum. like this image has worked against its original intention because I truly do picture that diamond. The problem with this image, well, I mean, that's the point of this image, but the problem is the diamonds look so good. They're so close. It's so tantalizing. He really is such a fool for turning around. It's right there. It was like such wild wealth. And so I do want them.
Desperately searching for. But the sad reality is, even if you find the diamond, you're just gonna feel so good doing it that you'll probably dive right back into the mines looking for another one.
The truth is, if I'd have had that big win, I would have just spent it anyway.
A lot of the higher-ups at these companies will refuse any responsibility for creating new gambling.
By the way, that guy just said that, but at least 40% of you thought over the scenario in your head and said, nah, I'd stop. I want you guys to know you're wrong, okay? A lot of you just said, nah, I'd be different. I'd get the big win and I'd get out of the debt and I would stop. No, 100%, you would not, okay? So don't fucking This is the, you know how every few years someone will make a movie about a terrible fucking greedy guy on Wall Street, like the movie Wall Street, or like Wolf of Wall Street, or Boiler Room, or whatever. And they'll make the guy follow an arc where they're kind of middle class or broke. Then they get super rich and they have the nice car and the hot girlfriend and everything's going great. And then their life will turn into greed and sadness and devolve. And every generation of people, especially young men, watches these movies and goes, nah, I just wouldn't do that second half. They just watch it and they completely ignore the message of the movie because they go, I would just not do that part. I'll do the good part and it'll be easy. And it's like the point is that it corrupts and it will happen to you just like anyone else, but you're not in that zone, so you think you'll cash out. Everyone just thinks they're different than humans just like them that came before them.
Addicts over the past few years. They'll make the argument that they're just addicted to their phone and our app just happens to be on it.
I don't believe that there is an addiction to mobile betting any more than there is an addiction to utilization of your phone for any other reason.
You don't think adding a layer of betting makes the phone more addictive than just tooling around Instagram?
No. There is problem gambling. It is a real problem. Whether it's...
No, I don't. No. Smiley face. I'm a good person. What I do is not deeply, deeply corrupt. No, smiley face. This is like the fucking tobacco executives. You think cigarettes cause cancer? No. Nope. We thought about it, but nope. There's no problem. If they cause cancer, why would doctors smoke them? Nope.
Gotten bigger, or it's just become more noticeable because sports betting is legal, I think is an unknown.
That's the classic. That is the classic lobbyist / lawyer for a amoral industry is just stall. Just the classic. It's an unknown. We can't know. The research is out. Let's take a few decades and we'll try to get to the bottom. We'll get a study commissioned. We'll pay for it. Actually, we'll pay for it. Don't worry, we'll pay for it. We'll get a study commissioned and we'll get to the bottom of this by 2045. For sure. By then, I'll be retired and very, very wealthy. And it'll be someone else's problem.
Really?
Hey, they'd be gambling anyway, whether it's on our app that sends 30 push notifications a day and is linked to their bank account, or only available in a state on the other side of the country, is totally irrelevant. And while there are obviously some people for whom that is true, you cannot deny the fact that making it so goddamn easy to bet anything at any time is leading to more people gambling who wouldn't have otherwise. You're dangling a piece of candy inches away from people's faces and then saying, hey, it's not our fault they grabbed it. They still would have grabbed it even if it was 2,000 miles away. Since this is all still relatively new in the US, maybe we'll see more legislation in the future to combat this avalanche. In some countries, they no longer allow celebrities to appear in sportsbook ads, or they've banned the ads from appearing during sporting events altogether. America is still in this Wild West infancy where all these apps are just scrambling to find a way onto your phone before regulations start kicking in. But maybe in the future? Nah, I'm going to be honest. It's hard to imagine that happening. I think it's too late to put the toothpaste back in the tube.
America famously is a country that's very, very good at regulating things that make a lot of money. Very, very good. We are notorious at finding industries that have hugely wealthy incumbents and saying, no, you can't keep making this money.
The leagues are making too much money off it already. Of course they want to shove betting apps down everyone's throats. It gives people more of a reason to watch the games, especially bad ones. While most people would turn off a 20-point blowout in the fourth quarter, you're still glued to the screen because you need CeeDee Lamb to get 12 more yards for your parlay to hit. They've figured out a way to make every moment matter, even if it doesn't.
You want to make every game interesting? Step one, open the BetMGM Sportsbook. You know what to do.
It's not just sports, though. It seems like these
That's
days
ominous.
you can gamble on absolutely anything. You can bet on celebrity breakups. You can bet on which White Lotus character will return in season 3. You can bet on the presidential election. And oh my God.
This is crazy. I mean, you know, the incentives to cheat are so high. You know, what if the writer for White Lotus is at a cafe near me or something and I overhear? Or they just tell a friend and that friend makes a massive bet.
Return in season 3. You can bet on the presidential election. And oh my God, so...
Wait, writers aren't getting enough money in Hollywood, right? That's why they struck? What if the solution to every underpaid worker is that they have to use their insider knowledge to make extra money gambling? So writers can gamble on the shows they write for, and like teachers can gamble on which of their students will graduate. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if everybody can gamble, we can find a way for everyone to make money. This is a good idea. To make up for DVD sales. Yeah, exactly.
Many people did. Hundreds of millions of dollars were tied up in political bets this year, and if that's not indicative of a nationwide gambling epidemic, I don't know what is. But I'll admit, I'm a little concerned.
It's knowing that the biggest winner of the American election gambling epidemic was a Frenchman. That kind of just pisses me off. Just a fucking nerdy analytical Frenchman who really studies polls made the most money betting on Trump. It's fucked up. It's like a real kick in the teeth. We need to figure out a way to no, it wasn't a streamer, it was a guy. There's a data scientist in France who noticed that when you did polls that asked who you thought your neighbor was going to vote for instead of yourself, people were more honest. And they showed a Trump win pretty convincingly. So he made like a $90 million bet on Trump. Dude made absolute bank. And he did it before anyone else. So it was like when it was closer to 50-50, he was the one that started moving the poly market. You have to have 90 million first. I believe he borrowed. So it was quite a big bet. I mean, he had to get staked by other people.
Conflicted about this. Because on one hand, gamifying every aspect of our lives only gives more power to those with influence. It creates a financial incentive for spreading deliberate misinformation. It can make you question the motive behind everything you see and hear. But on the other hand, XQC lost $700,000 betting on the election, and that's really funny. If you don't know who XQC is, he's a streamer who, at least in every clip I've seen of him, seems to be speaking a language he invented and no one else can understand. He's also one of the many streamers who've massively increased their wealth over the past few years by taking sponsorships from offshore crypto-based online casinos, helping them and the website they stream it on explode in popularity. At almost any point of any day, you can go to the slots tab on kick.com and see someone who is zonked out of their mind, eyes bloodshot red, 12 hours into non-stop slot spins, desperately trying to win back all the money they've lost so far, oftentimes in a situation so dire that even the chat, with no personal stakes involved and only there for entertainment, is begging them to stop. But they can't. They're on autopilot. Every loss is money that needs to be won back, and every win is just more money to gamble with. I randomly opened this guy's stream one day and watched in real time as he won almost $100,000 and then say this.
95K, that's fucking huge. We're a tenth of the way back.
A tenth? This...
almost there. You're almost there, big dog. You're almost there. I gotta be honest with you, though. That is good entertainment. I remember watching, it must have been Train. I was with Slime and Aiden at the old place, and we would put on Train on the TV and just watch him. There's something beautiful about seeing a man click away $100,000 in an hour and a half. It's crazy. It's like disgusting, but like a train wreck you can't look away. And his name's Trainwreck, so it makes sense.
This dude was down $1 million on Big Bass Bash? Now, to most people watching, it's pretty easy to say, hey man, you should probably quit while you're ahead. No, 100,000 isn't $1 million, but it's a lot more than zero. The problem is someone in this state of mind isn't capable of seeing it that way. He's not even in Thursday afternoon with the rest of us. He's still on the tail end of Wednesday night. So the rational part of his brain, too subdued to muster anything more than a mumble, asks his chat if he should end it there.
We up the better leave.
They all scream, of course you should, but it falls on deaf ears. He's yet to stop spamming spins for even a second. This man is no longer in control of his actions. He's a zombie, relegated to the passenger seat of his own mind as it careens towards the conclusion everyone watching knows.
Okay, can I say something a little deep here? This is what, to a lesser degree, all of modern life feels like in some way. It's fucked up, but it feels like every single thing in our phones and TV and games and porn and everything, it's all fucking trying to get your brain into this stupid, dull trance where you have no meaningful frontal cortex activity over your actions, over like what you're just trying to like. Anyway. That is obviously not to this degree by any measure, but it's like everything is trying to become more gambling-like, I guess I'll say. Like they see this and think this is a good thing for every single news app, your email, everything to be like, and it's fucked up.
Is inevitable, but there's nothing he can do to stop the momentum.
I have to quit. At a certain point, I have to give up. At a certain point, I gotta give up. Oh my god. At a certain point, I gotta give up. Dude, that dog demolished the balance. Oh my god. That's crazy. Lost over $1 million today.
That's fucking crazy.
All he can do now is sit in the reality of what just
happened. That's fucking crazy.
Dude.
Come to terms with the fact that despite his...
Bro, his wall's all fucking destroyed. He lost $1 million. $1 million. That's so rough, dude. You guys think it was a skill issue? You think if he spun the correct way, he'd actually be... No, that actually makes a lot. I was almost gonna take the lesson away from this that gambling was bad, but now I'm realizing it's just like bad gambling is bad. It's fine to gamble as long as you know what you're doing and you bring the fucking skill. You can't just spam click it. You have to think about it. It's good stuff. Good lesson.
Come to terms with the fact that despite his and everyone else's better judgment, he got doghouse.
Doghouse is what did it. Dude, doghouse is what defeated me. I got doghouse. I got dog.
Bro, he's taking it surprisingly well. He's taking it surprisingly well. To lose $1 million to a cartoon dog spin, I got doghouse, is crazy. Is crazy.
Doghouse. I got a full doghouse. Full doghouse, dude. Full doghouse. Full fucking doghouse, dude. Dude. I got doghouse.
Did I just watch this guy ruin his life?
I don't know. actually. The thing is, it's hard to take streams like this at face value. There's a very well-documented history of streamers on Kick high-stakes gambling with money that was given to them by the website they're playing on. So not only are the stakes not high, but it's technically not even gambling. It's just promotion. The entire goal of these streams is just to make the people watching them think they too can go win life-changing money on asscoin.com. So maybe this is all bullshit. Maybe the only real thing about these streams are the holes he punched into the wall behind him. Maybe he'll miraculously be back in a couple days with a suspiciously large balance after seeming to lose everything. But clips like this are just the flip side of an online ecosystem currently doing everything it can to convince impressionable teenagers scrolling through TikTok and YouTube shorts that gambling is awesome, actually, and you gotta start doing it.
Yes, 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 yes. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Bang, 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 bang.
That's a great feeling, man.
Bro had a feeling it was coming. It's so funny. Yeah, this is all fucked.
That's a great feeling, man.
Now, some people have accused these websites of rigging the odds in favor of the streamers so it's easier for them to farm these clips, and as far as I'm aware, there's no proof of that. I think the misrepresentation of odds here is simply due to the fact that these websites can just keep depositing money into their accounts whenever they lose, giving them unlimited funds to play with.
Unless Rubut's gonna give me free money, I think that's like actually it. We really just need Howie to give us a ton of free money.
If you're given infinite money, you can just keep betting until you hit a jackpot. For them, there's no such thing as rock bottom, a philosophy that very much does not translate to real life. In real life, you can hit rock bottom, and when you do, there's no texting Howie to get yourself out of it. What's especially concerning about these kinds of streams is that while sports betting apps are at least targeting mostly grown men, the majority audience for a lot of these streamers are teenagers and young adults. People whose brains have not finished developing yet. People who would have a harder time distinguishing between entertainment and real life and have less of an ability to evaluate risk compared to people much older than them. It is statistically proven that people who are exposed to gambling at a young age are more likely to develop problems with it later in life. So maybe don't do this. Is that too much to ask?
Now, there are a few different types of gambling streamers. There are the ones like Aiden Ross, who have been very transparent about the fact that money is the only thing that matters to them, and there's no line they would be unwilling to cross in pursuit of it. Then there's streamers like Steve Will Do It, who admitted in an interview with CoffeeZilla that the only reason he started taking these sponsorships was because he used to have a gambling problem, and it was a way for him to continue to gamble without having to use his own money. In other words, he knows from personal experience the harm a gambling addiction can cause, but he has no problem promoting that to other people.
Fucked up though? This is a fucked up thing about human brains. Is like, I am more mad at this guy. This guy at least goes on CoffeeZilla and he like has some sort of rationale and admits weakness. And this guy's like just blatant, you know, Aiden Ross is just blatant about it. Just a pure scumbag about it. But because our brains, it's like he's being honest in a way. So it's like, yeah, okay. It's hard to stay mad at him, but it's fucked up. It's like, it's just worse. They're both bad, but that's just worse. But I don't know. It's fucked up that it works that way. I want to be madder at him and like have some understanding for it. Mad at both, but I don't know. It's fucked up. It's fucked up the way that like authenticity, fake or otherwise, shines through.
As long as it's not his money they're losing. But then there's also plenty of streamers that don't seem to think they're doing anything wrong. They put their head in the sand and make excuses because the money's too good for them to turn down. Take Nick Merckx, for example. Nick gets pretty defensive when people question the fact that he spends 1 week out of every month spinning slots on Kick.com. Oh yeah, man, sorry. Forgot a bunch of children watch my streams. Like, dude, you've spent the past 6 years streaming Fortnite and Call of Duty. If you don't think the majority of your audience is young men, I don't know what to tell you. And don't even get me started on Drake. I know a large portion of his audience is underage because those are the people he's trying to fuck.
So while obviously these websites who use decentralized currency and are based out of a small island country with laughably loose gambling restrictions in order to skirt federal
it's fucked up that Drake does it almost most of all to me because it's just sheer greed. It's like Drake has so much money. Drake has so much money before this. He'll have so much money. It's so greed. It's so greedy. It's so greedy. It's like if Jeff Bezos streamed on Kick. It's like, to get a fucking deal. Why, dude? Why? You have actually hit a level of wealth. I mean, Drake's not a billionaire, but he's got a $500 million record contract plus other sponsorship. He's close to $1 billion. It's not. He doesn't need the money for anything ever. It's crazy.
Regulations are mostly to blame for the damage they've caused. These celebrities and streamers who've helped popularize them are very much complicit. When you build an audience online, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, it's kind of like Mr. Beast doing crypto pump and dumps. Mr. Beast, you have an infinite money generating scheme called YouTube. Why? Why do you also have to do crypto pump and dumps? I don't get it. I don't get it, bro. Ugh. I don't know.
There is a parasocial element to it. There are people in your fan base who look up to you and trust you, and every time you sell something to them, you are leveraging that parasocial relationship in order to financially benefit. And I'm not gonna act like I'm perfect.
Sorry, just need a moment to take a sip of my Huel. Sorry, it goes down smooth. Anyway, back to the video. Back to the video.
I sell merch, I have sponsors, I just did an ad read like 3 minutes ago. But my God, I feel like the bare minimum with the sponsorship is, does this product actively hurt the people that use it? Yes? Then I'm not gonna do that. I get that it can sting to turn down a lot of money, and if the numbers people have floated around are accurate, it is a stupid amount of money. But for some of these people who could already live 10 full lifetimes without ever having to worry about bills ever again, when is it enough? It's just crazy to me. It's like, thank you to everyone who supports what I do. You've given me my dream job, this life of luxury I'm so lucky to have. And in return, I give to you a crippling addiction. Sorry, I wanted to buy a house in Mexico.
We got another place because you can't do it in America. You have to go somewhere else. So we went somewhere else and we got another place.
Call me dramatic, but I'm a little concerned.
That's kind of funny. Everyone in chat spamming dog.
I wanted to buy a house in Mexico.
We got another place.
Woo! No.
You have to go somewhere else. So we went somewhere.
Let's go! Let's fucking go!
Call me dramatic, but I'm a little...
You got a second place! That's my goat!
Concerned where this is all headed. People like to talk about iPad babies who are burning all their dopamine receptors before they even reach preschool. But what is a slot machine if not just a giant iPad? Scientifically engineered to be as mesmerizing as possible so you don't even realize what you're letting it take from you.
$1,000 in fast spins at $50 a spin. Look at that, 190.
We don't understand what I'm saying. What my point was earlier is that slot machines are behind the technology used on iPads. Kids will see a slot machine and get bored because it's not nearly as addicting as fucking Cocomelon and whatever gotcha game they're on, dude. It's slot machine technology is dated. Monopoly Go makes slot machines look like fucking baby food, dude.
$94,000 grand. That thing is due. Oh, well, that's $1,000.
Gambling can be addictive enough on its own even before you add in all this social pressure. The transition from casual gambler to full...
I'm sorry, what was this? Watching a movie while your machines are on auto spin. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Two machines auto spinning while you sit there and watch a movie on your phone is so funny. Because the implication is that you think these are money generating machines. Like if you're not even taking part in it, if you're not even getting the joy of, it's like you are thinking that somehow more time will equal more profit. It's not, they didn't make a machine that's passive income for you. That's crazy. It's
own even before you add in all this social.
My fucking camera, dude. My fucking camera. I'm on top of the world. Hey! We're back.
Pressure. The transition from casual gambler to full-blown addict can happen so gradually, a lot of people don't even realize it's happened to them until it's too late. And when everyone around you, from celebrities in commercials to all your favorite streamers, are just making it seem like it's no big deal, it's fun, everybody does it, can you truly recognize the seriousness of what you're getting yourself into? I think all we can really do for the time being is try to fight back against the normalization of gambling. So what do you say we all get together and call a timeout? What's that? They already tried that for hate.
We need to stop it.
So let's take this moment
to change the momentum
and call a timeout
on hate.
Together.
And it's not working?
I thought hate would be over. Damn it. Can we try it again? Can we try it again, folks? Let's get a T. Let's get a time on this one. A time on hate and a time on not necessarily
even
gambling.
Though they got Shaq. Well, that's not good. That was kind of the only idea I had. Gambling is not new. For as long as there's been man, there's been the primal desire to bet it all on red. But what is new is the way technology has evolved to prey on these urges in the most efficient and targeted ways possible. Using AI to send push notifications at the precise moment they know they're most likely to be open. Using a constantly evolving algorithm to offer bets that are so time sensitive you have to commit to it before you even have a chance to think about it.
What if I don't have anyone to watch the game with, and the DraftKings app creates an AI best friend that likes all the same teams as me and sends me funny little text updates about the players and what's going on, and then occasionally is like, hey, you want to do a quick bet on... That'd be like a really fun idea. So it's like constantly texting me about sports I like and things I like, and then subtly implying that I should make different... You're legit giving them ideas. Believe me, they've had this idea. Once they can do it, they'll do it. And your AI friend lets you borrow money? Yeah, the AI friend is hooked up to the back end of the promo system, so you can borrow money from them. And also it learns your psychological profile. So if it's the type of person that like responds more to bullying, then they'll start to bully you a little bit and like push you into it. And if you respond more to like encouragement, they'll encourage you. They'll just find different little weaknesses in your psyche to constantly push you into doing more betting than you thought was possible. Awesome! Awesome! This is how you sold graphics card? Yeah. This is our NVIDIA pitch meetings to sell the 3090. The technology wasn't there yet, but finally they can make it happen when gambling.
About it. These apps didn't invent gambling addiction, they've just made it more accessible. You combine all of that with a system in which most people aren't paid nearly enough money for the amount of work that they do and might see gambling as one of the only ways out of that situation, only to end up exacerbating their problems, and you end up with the unmitigated economic disaster we're in now. Forgive me for using the C word, but we've stumbled into this stage of capitalism where every dollar must be profited by any means necessary, and foregoing any chance to do so would simply be seen as a missed opportunity.
I thought our economy was good. I don't understand what Drew Gooden's talking about. I thought the headline said the economy was good. That people are starting more businesses than ever. Bro, I saw this... Alan Lichtman told me in the Keys that the economy was good. Alan Lichtman told me the economy was good in the Keys, so they can't. I saw this tweet or this skeet on Blue Sky today. This guy's, everyone on there is so fucking nice, and so it's hard for me to fit in because I'm used to Twitter, which is like going from prison to a school cafeteria or something. I gotta like protect my food. And this guy goes, "We live in amazing times." And in 1,000 likes, and it's like, I look at this chart and it's so fucking obvious that America didn't suddenly get more entrepreneurial right here. It's like, this is when they launched PPP loans, so people made fake businesses to fraud the government, And this is all Uber and OnlyFans single-person startups as they are getting shoved out of the workforce. It's like, what? But on Blue Sky, it's like, yes, dude. It's just so beautiful. This is incredible. So I just tried to like say it without being rude. Anyway, I'm trying to start. If you have any finance or geopolitical discussion you want to do on Blue Sky, tag me in it. Because all I see is Stardew Valley posts and shit. My feed on there is no good. But I'm trying to use it more. Because I'm annoyed with all the bots and the fucking dog shit on Twitter. And I think this could be a better platform, but I need to have interesting things. I'm just looking at what's on Blue Sky, and I'm not seeing anything. I'm just not seeing anything that's not. It's all too nice. But maybe there's some parts of it I'm not seeing. You know. Anyway, let's watch the end of this. If there's anything left.
Opportunity. Advertisements in between the game? Not enough. Now they're a part of the game. A mini fridge in the hotel that I can store my leftovers in? No, we should be filling every square inch of that thing with $12 Coke cans that'll automatically charge your credit card even if you're just moving one out of the way. A YouTube outro that's just a few seconds of peaceful music and no call to action? You wish, bozo. Please go listen to the song I made with my friend Sam. I wrote the guitar for it and I think it's pretty good. Thanks for watching.
Wow! This guy's just as bad as the casinos. Jesus Christ, no one will give us a break. Jesus Christ. Sellout. Fucking sellout, dude. You and XQC are the same.